Alright. Now the flight sim actually decided to load. Hello, YouTube. This is your Emperor, and we're flying the A320 today. Yeah, well, it's the Fly-by-Wire A32NX mod. We are flying it from Las Vegas, McCarran to Jackson Hole, Wyoming. And I forgot to stop the music. Give me 1 second to do that. Alright, wonderful. So it looks like our flight time today is going to be about an hour and a half, around maybe 2 hours, depending on how long it takes us to get down to altitude land. But other than that, let's go ahead and Oh my lord, English. Let's go ahead and jump into the cockpit. Get this beast rolling. External power on, batteries on, crew supply on. I personally like to turn on ground control myself. Why? I don't know. Arm the emergency exit lights. No smoking sign to auto. Seatbelts on. Go ahead and get the APU spinning up. Nav and logo lights on and strobe lights to auto. Go ahead and line the adheres. And we're going to jump down to the FMC. Soup. AOC menu. Init press. Init data request. And that's going to load all of our data over from SimBrief. That is not what I was trying to do. I was trying to go here. Let's go ahead and get the flight pad turned on. Alright, we've got all our information here. I need to get us Alright, so today we're going to be rocking 5,871 kilograms of fuel. Go ahead and get the aircraft fueled up. And we're going to go back to the FMC. AOC menu. Do menu. That's do. AOC menu. Green balance. And we're going to have a total of 167 passengers on board for this flight. We're not going to be too heavy, but a pretty decent amount of people in cargo on board. And you can actually start hearing the people loading into the aircraft. Let's go ahead and get these screens lit up. Go ahead and throw a random transponder code in there. I got flap open on the APU. Let's go ahead and get her started. I'm going to go to the outside and listen to the APU spool up. Yeah, there we go. And as soon as we get APU available, I can go to the overhead and connect the electrical buses for that. And there we go, APU is available. And, okay, APU gen's already been connected. You can disconnect the external power, that's what we do. Alright, let's go ahead and start getting everything programmed in here. I'm gonna do init request, IRS. Gonna go ahead and align those. Clear that message real quick. Turn. And I'll wait for our zero fuel weight and put our block fuel in. Block fuel is going to be again 5.871. I'm gonna just put in 5.9 because it likes to round up anyway. And then once cargo and fuel is done loading, I'll go ahead and throw that in there. So we've got our flight plan in here. Gonna go ahead and go to departure. Gonna be departing runway 26 right today. There it is. With a Rat Pack 3 departure. There's that. And the Frenic transition. I forgot that is on the right side. Go ahead and insert that. Jackson Hole, our arrival will most likely be runway 19. Gotta look at my chart real quick. ILS 19 Zulu. This is what we're going to be coming in on. Approach vias. Let's take a look here. Approach will be via Moth. And we can go ahead and insert that. If I remember correctly, Jackson Hole itself should be in here, and we don't want that because it's going to mess with our actual approach into the runway. Alright, so now that we have the flight plan in here, while the passengers are loading, I can go ahead and look through our departure and make sure all the information that we need for that is in here. So we need to get that closed. Alright, so we are going to take off on a heading of 259er, going to Leland. We need to be at or below 8,000 for Leland. Good, that is in there. And then on to Galeon. Galeon is 5,000 or above and a speed restriction of 230 knots. Get that loaded in as well. Then after that, it's back at 6,000 and above. Then Elali at 7,000 and above. And then from there onto Jennifer. And then off onto our climb out and the rest of the SID. Which there's no other information for the rest of the SIDs. Or for the rest of the SID. Sweet. Let's go ahead and check and see how the passenger loading is going. 65 out of 167, that's fine. Go ahead and take a look at this. And our fuel is in there. Good, good, good. I'm going to be cruising up to 39,000 today. So let's go ahead and throw that in the MCP. Yep, 39,000. The gears are aligned. Flight director is on. Go ahead and throw on constraints. It is pretty warm in Vegas, but I am going to throw on the probe and window heat and the APU bleed so we can get the air conditioner running. Don't want anybody cooking in the back. Bring this on, APU bleed. Alright, since we're going to be taking off runway 26 right, let me go ahead and take a look at the airport here and see which direction we need to push the tail for pushback. So we're at Terminal 1, I think gate 206? Yeah, 206. Alright, so we're gonna go straight back, tail to the left, and then take Gulf 2 out on the Gulf, take that southwest, to Bravo, and then Bravo all the way to the end of the runway and line up for takeoff. We've got a pretty simple taxi. Taxi out's probably going to take about 4 or 5 minutes, if that. Now let's check on how many passengers we've got loaded up. 93 out of 167. You know what? I think I'm actually gonna speed that up a bit. Aircraft options. No. Realism? Boarding time. There we go. Set that to fast. This is definitely not vodka. Y'all didn't see anything. And another little pretty good speed. I have to wait for that, because the problem is I can't do any of the performance stuff until the aircraft knows how much it weighs. And which I get in SimBrief how much I should weigh, but it doesn't always translate perfectly over to the sim. So I can't just throw in the numbers that are in the flight plan, unfortunately. Because I'll use that for the performance calculations, and I don't want that to be wrong. So I'm just going to let it do its thing. Menu balance. Alright, and we're all loaded up. Actually, let's go back to init. Here, plug in the 0 fuel weight. Aircraft will actually calculate that for us because it knows how much it weighs because it feels how much weight is on its wheels. Alright, and we're good to go there. Alright, now let's go to performance. We're going to do...
Ladies and gentlemen from the flight deck, on behalf of myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork up front here and waiting to receive final numbers from the ground crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
And there we go. There's the A32NX's absolutely wonderful cabin announcements. And there are more of those that you'll hear throughout the flight. But anyhow, we're going to go flaps 1 for this departure. That's a standard with a trim setting of up 0.5. Flex to temp is going to be 43 degrees. That'll determine our takeoff thrust. V1 at 132. We're going to rotate at 133. V2 at 137. Awesome. Performance is taken care of. Go ahead and look back at the flight plan, and as far as I'm concerned, we're pretty much ready to go, to be honest with you all. Alright, so let's go ahead and lock the cockpit door. I'm going to go ahead and get the predictive wind shear system on. And from there, we can go ahead and plan our pushback. Once it loads. There we go. I think I'm gonna just go back and tail left right there. And then I can take care of
cockpit to ground.
From there.
This is ground. Stand by.
Alright, now the tug is driving up. I'm gonna go ahead and get the beacon light on. Let everybody on the ground know that it's no longer safe to approach the aircraft. Actually, brighten these up a little bit.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors doors and hatches closed and all ground equipment is removed.
We are cleared for start and push.
Okay, cleared for push start. Please release parking brake.
Parking brake release.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the
Get
sequence.
the fuel pumps going. And we'll start engine 2. I'm going to go ahead and tune ATIS and get the weather for Las Vegas.
Airport information, Mike 2000 Zulu. Wind calm. Visibility 10. Sky condition clear. Temperature 2 tree. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29.90. ILS runway 26 left and ILS runway 26 right in use. Landing and departing runway 8 right and runway 8 left. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions. Advise controller on initial contact. You have Mike.
Alright, let's do that. Engine number 2 seems to be coming up pretty good.
When it's no longer needed. We'll be passing through the cabin to make sure we are ready for departure. You can help us by making sure your seatbelt is fastened. Your seat back is upright, your tray table is stowed, and all carry items are put away. If you have any questions about the safety features of this aircraft, please don't hesitate to ask. Looking.
Go ahead and get engine 1 going. Oh, that PTU working. I love it.
For your convenience, this aircraft has 3 restrooms, one in the front of the cabin and 2 in the back, and each is equipped with an instant changing table. We'll be until departure if you need to urgently remain above your seat. If you're here to make sure you have a safe and comfortable flight. Thank you for your attention, and we hope you enjoy this experience.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Parking brake set. Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Cleared to disconnect. See you at the side. Have a good flight.
Alright, sweet.
Holding position waiting for the visual. Thank you and goodbye.
Engines are going. Tug is disconnected. I'm gonna wait for him to get out of the way. Plus, the nozzle steering is disconnected anyway. Alright, sweet. Engine 1 is spooling. Just wait for the available. Unacceptable. Seems legit. Okay, sorry about that, Sasha. I will change that real quick in the chat bot. I did not realize that it was gonna be that strict. Jesus Christ. Caps protection. Turn that off. Make me, she says. Seems legit. Chatbot, you really don't want to mess with her. You really don't. Alright, let's go ahead and check the takeoff config. Alright, flaps 1. Set the auto brake to max. Go ahead and arm the ground spoilers. Alright, and let's go ahead and turn on the taxi light. Turn off that bleed and kill the APU. I remember I'm a strong independent brat. Oh, God knows it. Alright. And let's go ahead and get taxiing. And I just remember that I was still on the throttle profile for the 7.4. Come on. There we go. No, I did not mean to open that. Apply and save. Go back. Resume. There we go. Now, let's get rolling. Why she no move? Parking brake off. Come on. There we go. And now we have movement. Thought I said that already. Alright, this right here should be Gulf. Or Gulf 2, rather. Hey, look, there's some other aircraft. I don't seem to be flying, but... I thought I turned AI traffic back on. I'll take care of it after this stream. Oh, so yeah, the reason that I chose to fly us into Jackson Hole, I had found some really good freeway scenery for Jackson Hole. I can't for the life of me remember who it was by, but it's absolutely gorgeous. Jackson Hole is a pretty small airport in Jackson Hole, Wyoming. If I remember correctly, it's mostly GA aircraft, private jets, and you get some flights like these that are just short hops from other major airports. Now we're rolling. Plane's making angry roll noises. Crossing Whiskey. Man, I miss those mountains. Oh, and I'm also using another mod that's... Okay, that's Charlie. I thought I was about to miss our turn. I'm using another mod that changes the cockpit of the A320. This black and cream color is from that mod. It's, I think, a JD's A32NX cockpit mod. It has a few different options. I just had to go black on black and then change the seats out from black to cream. I think it looks good, but that's just me. Yeah, can form your own opinions. Hey! Welcome. Glad you made it. We're just getting taxied out to the runway. And we seem to be doing a bit of a Southwest Airlines taxi. Slow that down a little bit. Just a little. Something that can go. Alright, I already turned off the APU. Want to be sure. Yeah, essentially doing a U-taxi. 30-knot ground speed taxi. That's just standard around these parts. A32NX go burr. Ah, vape cloud. Can't see the screen. Streamlabs chatbot is just great. Sure, PogChamp, sure. Seems legit. Yeah, see, fast is great until you get a turn, and then this thing runs off into the dirt, and yeah, let's not. Even though I don't need to, I'm gonna go to Bravo 1. I could have turned back there at Romeo, but eh. Slow it down a lot a bit. And we're going to hold short here real quick while I get this configured for takeoff. Alright. Let's go ahead and check this. Do a cabin check. Test the takeoff config. And test the flight controls. Full left, full right, back, forward, left rudder, right rudder. Alright, we were good to go there. Alright, so we're gonna go ahead and get the runway turn-off lights on, the landing lights on, nose wheel light to take off, seatbelts are already on. I'll light up the overhead just because, why not? Yeah, flight attendants, prepare for takeoff. And let's go ahead and take the runway. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is your captain speaking. If your little shits are ready, strap in your seatbelts, or don't. I don't really care. We're gonna be going mock Jesus on this takeoff. So hold on to something and kiss your arse goodbye. As Lord knows, our last flight we almost died on takeoff. What? Let's go! Well, that's Max Toga. Flags. There we go. That's what we want. And we're rolling. Speed tape is alive. $80 knots. V1. Yeet. Was up nice and smooth. Positive rate. Gear up. Let's chase that there flight director. And I think I'm gonna manually fly the climb up until about like 5,000-ish. Set for climb thrust. And nose down, chase that flight director. There we go. Let the aircraft speed up. kill the nose light since it is currently in the wheel well. Don't want that bulb burning up. Flap 0. And I'm going to go ahead and engage the autopilot. Alright. Unarm the ground spoilers. And we'll keep the landing light on up until about 10,000. Some wing views going on the climb out. See the mountains out here. Hey look, it's Vegas. Funny story, when I lived in Vegas, there was a park. Okay, so if that's the south end of the airport, there's a park off to the east side of it. Let me see if I can see it. Okay, no, it's hard to see. But anyway, there's a park off on the east side of the airport, right about there. And back when Ivan and I had 2 other roommates, we went to that park. It was probably about later at night, like 7, 8 o'clock, and it was really windy, but her dog needed to go for a walk because we hadn't walked the dog in a while. So we took him over to the park, and apparently the winds that night in Vegas were so extreme that it charged the air enough that it produced a lightning storm with no clouds. And it set the park on fire. I will never forget us getting there, getting out of the car, walking over towards where the grass was, wind blowing us every which way, and then everything brightens up. Our ears are deafened by a thunderclap, and we look off to our right, and the brush is burning. That's probably one of the strangest evenings of my life. But, you know, it was fun. We got to watch the fire department come and first question how this happened and then put it out after we told them, yo, park's on fire, there was lightning. They're like, oh, aight, dog. And they took care of it. Just about to pass through 13,000 feet. The ETA is losing its absolute mind, and the ground speed is parked. Let me restart Fly Live then. I don't know what it's doing. I think it's on crack. Either that or it's been huffing paint again. Either way, it's not a good look. Alright, we're good. So, Sasha, how was your day? Doritis, what have you been up to? That's into 17,000. I'll get up there. Not much. Yeah, same. When I got up this morning, I think I remember getting up at like 11-ish something. Not entirely sure. I don't know. It was a blur. But hold on, that's 18,000. And set that to standard, turn off the seatbelt signs. But anyway, I got up at like 11-ish, 11:30, and kind of prepared for stream today. Made something to eat. Watched some YouTube. That was about it. And now we're here. Alright, now that we're up here, let's go ahead and get some music going. Climbing on up to 39,000. So we're leaving Vegas to the northeast. Oh, okay, that's Lake Mead down there. Which means that just ahead of us, if we can get over here, down over here somewhere, should be the Hoover Dam. Or is it at the other end of Lake Mead? I can never remember. Yeah, it must be at the other end. Somewhere down over that way. Actually, now that I think about it, probably get like GoPro camera type of angle with this. I actually like that. Maybe from up over there? Oh god. Ooh. Well, from up back here. The very middle. I kinda like that. You guys like that? I think with it down like that, it makes everything outside far too bright. And I don't know how to fix that. I've tried figuring that out, but let's save that. Got about an hour and 15 minutes left. So this will be a quick flight to Jackson Hole. I might do the return flight after this, not sure. See how performance is by the time we land and everything. As far as I know with the weather at Jackson Hole, it's going to be a cloudy arrival, but the wind shouldn't be too bad. I mean, just like with the takeoff, the winds at Vegas, like 3 knots. It's pretty smooth. Yeah, I had to give it a little bit of rudder while we were rolling, but other than that, once we got up to speed and I started rotating the nose, it was pretty much no problem. I can see we're about to be flying over the border into Utah. This route is actually going to take us just south of Salt Lake City. Should be able to see that as we go by. About 6,000 feet from our cruising altitude now. Man, I love this cockpit. Not a fan of those stutters, though. My lord. Just listening what the passengers are doing back here. Y'all haven't lit my toilet on fire, have you? I'll track you down, you little shit. I slept really well last night. For some reason, I'm feeling tired. I don't know what the problem is. Jesus Christ, look at the ground textures. I'm so glad we've moved past the Flight Simulator X days when in and around cities would be sort of kind of accurate ground textures, and then everywhere else it was just repeating texture blocks of field or sand or what have you. Now they use Bing maps to create the Earth, and then algorithms to fill in buildings and trees and rivers where they should be. It looks fantastic. And in like X-Plane 11, there is freeware scenery for the whole planet. It's called Ortho for XP, but you gotta download it yourself, and it's an add-on, and it just takes up terabytes worth of space. You gotta have like a whole nother hard drive just to use it, and then to load it within any reasonable amount of time, all that data's gotta be on an SSD. Otherwise, it's gonna take millennia. I remember I tried Ortho once with X-Plane. I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm gonna sit in this. Hooray! 2,000 feet from our top climb. No, I never did. Let me check. Oh wait, no, that's right now. First... Oh, that's right, this isn't a Boeing. There is no VNAV, but I can go into the MCD menu. Select and get the ATIS for Jackson. See what the weather looks like over there. We're hitting turbulence. Plane seems to be jumping around a bit. Go to the menu, see messages. The ATIS not available. Great. Wonderful. Absolutely wonderful. Top notch. So let's try our request. Wait for that to say company message up there. Let's try and catch him. Ha! Nope. Ha! What if we sneak up on him? Hey! Receive messages. Here we go. Alright. Meta for Jackson. Winds are 220 for 8 knots. That's no problem. 10 miles availability. Few clouds at 4,700. Overcast at 6,500. I hope that's a GL and not a SL, because Jackson Hole is like. Actually, let me check that. Just to be sure. If I remember correctly, it's pretty high up there. Airfield. Oh. God dang it, wrong airport. Hold, please. Charts list. Airport info.
Ladies
Wow.
and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle, as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin with galley carts shortly. Also, one more reminder to please refrain from congregating to the front galley where the flight deck door is located. Thank you.
Airport elevation. I found it. 6,450 feet. Yeah, that has to be AGL, above ground level, because... I don't know. I guess we'll see when we get there. But anyway, temperature's 11 degrees Celsius. 39.85 pressure. And then... okay. Actually, print that up. Because funny enough, this plane has a printer. Because the people over at Fly-by-Wire love us. Tear that off and stick that there. So I'll call for this again once we're on about to start the descent. And then print that out, put it here, and then when I go into performance, and I go into the approach performance, I've got all the info here I can just throw in. Pretty cool way to do that in this plane. Your top descent shouldn't be that far up now. Yeah, it's up there. Yeah, Vegas and Southern Nevada to Wyoming or northern Wyoming. Not too far of a flight. It's probably going to be a good idea for me to put in the winds and temperatures for descent. I'm going to go ahead and take care of that. Alright, so I'll first do cruise wind, top descent. Actually, what are we at? Just past MLF. Okay. Alright, so MLF winds are 268. 47 knots at wind. That's 3-9ers. And then at frenzy, it's 265. 54 knots at 3-9ers. And then FFU got 265, 54 at 390. Ah, balls. I'm out of here. Yep, 390. FBR, winds are out of 278. 51 knots at 390. Shit. And then descent. Oh no, I want to go here and then put in top descent. 4. Alright, next phase is descent. Alright, we've got 284. 370. So that's winds out of 284, 45 knots at 37,000 feet. 283 at 45 knots or 35,000. Yeah. Let's. Yeah, we'll do it like that. That's fine. That's fine. And then 2030 at 31,000. And the reason I'm putting all these in is because once the plane knows what the winds should be like as you're flying and then descending, it'll be easier for it to calculate the descent profile for the VNAV, so it'll be a lot more accurate. And I ended up getting down there and I'm way too high to go on the approach, and I've got to go into a hold and drop altitude and speed. Just bypasses a lot of problems. 262 015 flat 20,000 feet. There's two more. Hang in there with me. I know this is boring, but it's got to be done. Six at 10,000. Okay. Should be good there. Estimated fuel on board when we get to Jackson, 2 tons, 2,000 kilograms. If I look at my load sheet, reserve fuel is 876 kilograms. Flight plan expects for us to have 2.6 thousand kilograms when we get there, so 2.6 tons. So most likely that'll actually end up matching up, because once we get into, it's like, okay, so when it does the estimated fuel on board, it's estimating how much is going to be left when we land by what the current thrust setting is. And when we start descending, of course, throttle's going to roll back to idle, and it won't be burning anywhere nearly as much as when it's in cruise, which when it's in cruise it's already burning very little. But it'll end up saving us quite a bit, and that should probably end up coming out to about 600 kilograms, so we'll see. We shall see. Ourselves a message. Destination estimated fuel on board below. We're fine. Or at least we should be. We'll find out, I guess. I mean, yeah, it'll be embarrassing if I have to dead stick the landing, but let's be honest, it's not the craziest thing that's happened. And we're only 2 streams in. Oh my god, I can't get over that landing on Saturday. It's just... See, I even went back yesterday and redid that flight in the 747, and I had no issues. I don't know what was going on. I have no clue what was going on. It was a nice soft landing. I went long down the runway just because with the way that with the runway I ended up landing on, it was the further down the runway I went, the closer it ended up getting to the excuse me, the closer it ended up getting to the cargo ramp. So she was very light braking, barely any reverse thrust, but it was fine. All of it was fine. The takeoff was fine, the landing was fine, cruise was fine. I don't know what happened Saturday. Let's look at some video. From the looks of it on the map, we should be nearing Salt Lake City now. End up staying at out of the left here, because we're very soon going to be making a right turn, running parallel to the southeast edge of the lake. Alright guys, I'll be right back. I gotta run to the bathroom. Alrighty, I'm back. Anybody still here? Go ahead and check. See how far we are from descent. Not super far. About 80 miles out. Nope, just the cricket. Sounds about right. Sorry about that. I had to run to the bathroom, and then I got distracted by something once I got back. It was a thing. Let's see what is the ATIS for Jack. 120.625. And switch that over. Hopefully we'll be able to pick that up long before we get close enough that it ends up being a problem. Sometimes you'll pick up these radio stations a little too close and you're already, you know, neck deep in configuring the aircraft for landing. It ends up being a whole mess. But we should be good. Let's do another quick. Oh, I press that. Let's do another quick weather request. Actually, don't need Las Vegas anymore. Company message. Receive messages. Print that out. And then we'll go to performance. Let's make sure it's displaying the correct one. Oh, here comes that left turn. 21.25. Okay. Next phase. Alright, Jackson, Windsor 022 for 05. What? Oh, okay. No, I was reading the wrong thing. Jesus Christ. That's the time. Winds are variable direction, 6 knots, gusting to 19, 10 statute miles visibility, scattered at 6,000, broken 7,500. The temperature is 13. 00006. That's not what I meant to put there. Come on, pad, work with me. 06. Thank you. QNH. 2982. Minimums for this airport is 6650. And full landing config. Alright, so our approach speed's gonna be 132, landing speed's 127. So, yeah. Do the approach plus, I want to say 5. So we'll do 137 on the final approach. Oh, that's the destination data. We will need to intercept the ILS at 8,000 feet. So we'll go ahead and drop this to 8,000. And once we actually hit this top of descent marker, then I will throw that altitude on the managed mode. Let's go through and check the speeds and altitudes to make sure they're set properly. Moss, 12,800 for a max of 230 knots. Good there. But the decel point is before it? That doesn't seem to make any sense. Well, considering the altitudes we have to be at, I guess I kind of actually understand it. On the bright side, the speeds are actually good in there. 180 goes through, and then slow down for G.Skill, which is actually where we're going to intercept the ILS for the landing. Okay. And then landing at 132. So change that. Or I won't be changing that. No, I will not be changing that. Okay. Well, I'm gonna let it do its thing. Plane knows best. Right? Right. Miles from the top of descent. You know what? I think I'm gonna ask the Magic 8-Ball a question. Will this landing be Oh my god. Okay, 8 balls, savage. Good to know. I would say no, lol. It just... Jesus. Fine, I'm gonna try it again. Will I butter this land? Let's see what that returns. That's a fair question. I'll allow that. That's a fair question. The answer is within yourself or on the moon. Not sure which. Kappa. Okay. Managed to send. Yeah, GG. Well, folks, pack it in. We're all gonna die on this landing. Should have chose a better airline.
From the flight deck, ladies and gentlemen, as you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now would be a good time to wrap up any business you need to take care of as we prepare for our approach. If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated until the aircraft arrives safely at the gate. Flight attendants, please prepare the cabin for arrival.
Again, fantastic cabin announcements thrown into this mod. Ah, southwestern Wyoming. Been there before. Never again. Absolutely never again. Let's throw that in a dark mode. Alright, now you guys actually should be able to see where we are. So, Jackson Hole, that'll let me move this, is right over in here. There's the airport we're going to be landing at. So as you can see, we're making that left turn, head up this way, and then we'll be on the approach into Jackson Hole. There are quite a bit of mountains around it, so we got to be careful on the descent in there. That's why Moss is at such a weird altitude, 12,800, because there's a mountain that's 10,000 feet southwest of it, or just south of it. There's another one that's 10,000 feet just northeast of it, and we got to kind of snake our way in here if we were any lower, but we should be above all that on the way down. And it'll be a pretty hard left turn, and then on to the actual final approach. And we'll be landing down on this valley, which is what I'm afraid of, considering it's a valley, the winds could be weird, but hopefully, as far as I can tell, they should be flying from southwest to northeast. Plane's just catching up to the descent path. throttle idle. Yeah, it's trying to bring the speed back down. See, this right here is the speed it wants to hold, but it's perfectly acceptable in the flight computer's logic for the speed to bounce back and forth or anywhere within these two pink lines. So we're still technically on profile. We're actually a little below our descent path, which is perfectly okay because it won't descend any further than 12,800 at Moss. My only question is, when it goes to slow down for 230 knots, will it be able to without holding on to a lot of altitude? Which, if that is what happens, I'll just have to add some spoilers. I need to fly through here more often. This is gorgeous.
Jackson Airport information, Golf
Hey.
2100 Zulu. Wind 207 at 12.
Okay,
Visibility
207 at 12.
10. Sky condition 9,600 feet. Scattered ceiling 13,600 feet overcast. Temperature 10. Dew point 10. Altimeter 29er.79er. ILS Yankee runway 19er in use. Landing and departing runway 19er. VFR aircraft say direction of flight. All aircraft read back hold short instructions.
Sweet. So 29er, 79er. I'll do that into the backup ADI there. Updated this information so the plane has a better idea of what the conditions are going to be when we touch down. And I'm oh, actually, I do need to go into rad nav and make sure that it's tuned the correct ILS. Because the plane will tune the ILS itself, but I'd like to check behind it and make sure 109.1, 109.1. Okay, good, got that. Does the airport have its own VFR? Yes, 115. And the runway course is 187. I like to throw that in because then I can put it up here and I can see our exact distance to the airport. 39 miles out. Actually, Jackson Hole Airport should be down in here under that cloud cover on the other side of these mountains. Down over that way. Very nice, very nice. It's gonna be a real pretty landing. Down to 19,000. If we hit 18,000, I'll go ahead and throw in the local QNH. How are we doing on fuel? 3,000 kilograms. Yep. Just as I thought it would be. I'm getting Discord messages. Okay. You thought it was you. I love how you're the one that sent the messages and you thought it was you. Alright. Got a standard 290.79. Oh yeah, this is gonna be a bit bumpy. Alright, we'll go ahead and start the configuration of the aircraft. So, the runway length is, let me see, port info, runway 19. Doesn't give me... It is not giving me the runway length. I don't see it anywhere. Oh, it's fine. We're gonna use auto brakes low, and then I'll just give it a good bit of reverse thrust. We're not down to 10,000 yet, but I'm gonna go ahead and get these lights on. I never turned off the runway turn-off lights. Alright, that stuff should be good. Ooh yeah, it's getting bumpy. Alright, let's go ahead and kill the music. Concentration. Safe. Okay. As soon as this stream is done, I will save all that info on my phone. Alright, so we should be slowing down to 230 knots here. We are. Looks like the aircraft might need a little bit of help, so I'll give it some speed brake.
$2,500.
Alright, we'll go flaps 1. ahead and throw that out so we can see the localizer and glide slope indicators. So flaps 2. That's the wrong one. Go ahead and get the flight recorder loaded. So if this is a decent landing, I don't wanna rewatch it. Alright, we'll go flaps 3. And honestly, I think I'm probably gonna go. Oh no, I won't go flaps full just yet. I'll let it hold this speed. I want to wait until we're on the ILS. I mean, we're technically only like 3,000 feet above ground level. Because again, this airport is at 6,400 something. So, air is not as thick up here as it would be at sea level. Ooh, looks cold out there. What's the outside air temperature at? 5 above freezing. Should need the... Yeah, no. We should be fine. I was gonna turn on the anti-ice stuff, but we shouldn't need it.
$2,500.
Airfield in sight. I love how there's just like this one strip of green in here. And everything else is frozen. Plane's throttling up to deal with the altitude constraint. We can go ahead and descend down to 8,000. I'm going to go ahead and arm localizer. 5.3 miles. 5-mile final. Glide slopes coming up. And go ahead and arming approach. Alright, we're going flaps full, gear down. Go ahead and
Please prepare for landing.
arm the spoilers. Do our cabin check. Alright, let's land this thing. Go ahead and forward. Alright, before landing checklist, gear down,
1,000.
3 green, flaps are set, speed brakes are armed. You guys have been advised, cabin has been advised. Speed set, lights are on. Let's do this. My airplane? Okay. I mean lever climb, it's already in climb. Let's go ahead and get back on profile
500.
here.
400. 300. 100 above. Minimum.
Continue.
100. 50, 40, 30, 20, 10, 5.
That was, we're not gonna talk about that. We're not gonna talk about that. Look, we're down. We didn't hit anything. And that's what matters, right? Right. Go ahead and swing it around here. Go ahead and disarm the speed brakes. Slow down that taxi a bit. 8-ball knows all. Yeah, apparently. Throttle randomly deciding that it wanted to firewall probably wasn't the best for that landing. If it wasn't for that, that landing would have been perfect. I will die on that hill. Alright. Let's go ahead and get the landing lights off and retracted. Taxi lights on. Turn off the runway turnoffs. Get the APU going. Scenery is gorgeous, but it's actually absolutely murdering my frames. Now, let's see where we're gonna park this thing. I think right here is perfect. here. Alright, parking brake is set. APU is available. Let's go ahead and get the APU bleed going. Shut down the engines. Front window heat is fine there. Seatbelts off. Beacon off. Stairs, baggage, catering. And we can connect up to external power. Confirm delete. Alright. And welcome to Jackson Hole, well, not international, but Jackson Hole Airport. Again, we're not going to talk about that landing. I don't know what exactly happened there with the throttle, but it just did not want to stay in climb mode. Let me actually check the throttle gates on here. Wrong setting. Sim options, calibrate. Yeah, no, the deadband for climb is as large as I made it, so I don't know. Just didn't want to stay in climb thrust. Alright, that's all I've got for you guys today. Thank you so much for joining me, and I hope you enjoyed it. Leave a like, throw a comment. I think you're both already subscribed to me, so you know what? Do it again. Whatever. Just do it again. Alright, time to close this out. Y'all have yourselves a good time. See ya!